You're sitting a lot of your starters for the game tomorrow. Why?
Years ago, I think I made a mistake and didn't enter a playoff game as fresh as we could have been. So that's part of what goes into it. The belief that healthy, fresh is ultimately important.
And you don't worry about a bit of rust come the playoffs for those guys that sit?
No, I don't. And I just think that's a valuable reps for a lot of guys too that could end up helping us.
Do you believe it's like a trust factor too? Like, these guys are going to do the work, and you don't even worry about it when you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll do what needs to be done.
Yeah, they've been doing the work for years. Yeah.
What are you hoping to see from Strevler, and will Wilson get some reps too?
Yeah, I mean, the game will dictate how the roster shapes up as it goes along. What do you hope? That they lead our team. That's what every quarterback wants to do.
But Strevler is starting, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you plan to put Wilson in at some time?
Yeah, at some point.
At some point.
When, where, how many reps? I don't know. We've never had a real great answer on that, right? It really depends on the flow of the game.
Mike, you said years ago. What year are you, or what game are you referring to?
I bet you it was either 2016 or 17, I think, heading into Calgary. And we practiced them too many days, too hard, for this time of year when they already know what they're doing.
Right. I think the other week you said it's important to be, rolling at this time of year or going into playoffs with momentum. I'm kind of paraphrasing.
Yeah, not momentum. I've never used that.
Yeah, well, rolling, I think you said.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that, so many starters are sitting, obviously, you could argue that you guys aren't really, lots of the guys don't have the chance to do that now. Is that a concern at all, especially considering that this offense hasn't been at its best these past 2 weeks?
Yeah. I think the group of guys that are going to take the field are going to try to generate a lot of excitement, a good football game, and a win, right? So I've never believed that you can really carry momentum from one game to the next. I think it shifts in game, and you can switch it and carry it and move it around in game, but between games it's a little difficult. Rolling for me would be the group practicing well together and executing at a high level and being polished for this time of year.
I just think for Zach and the offense, I mean, again, these past 2 weeks it didn't look good, and now lots of them are off this week. And how can they kind of just flip a switch, I guess, and win 3 straight games in the playoffs?
Because they have before.
Bit different circumstances, though, but.
I think we've covered this.
Yeah. Payne Logan. Just what are your thoughts on him? Obviously, this is a game where he can kind of show what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, we brought him in for a reason, and unfortunately it didn't work out that way for him, and this is an opportunity for him to not just show us, but show everybody what he can do too. But, he's been a great pro in this regard, because he's certainly not had the season that he dreamed about having either. So I love the fact that we're getting him in.
Are there any of the newer guys you're interested to see how they do, curious to see how they look at a full speed on the field against a team that's trying to kill them?
Yeah, I mean, I would enjoy all their opportunities, right? Like there's going to be something that goes on in the game with each one of them that's going to be exciting and fun and awesome for them and us too, right? So I'd like to see how they play together. That's more important than any individual, effort is how they roll together.
As a coaching staff, how much do you know about guys before they've played a full competitive game? Do you know?
Yeah, whatever that expression is, you don't really know till you get punched in the nose. We'll see.
Is it strange putting together a roster that does not include Willie Jefferson, who I think has only not played one time for you guys?
Yeah, Willie's an Iron Man. Like we just talked about that in the meetings today. He hasn't missed anything in 5 straight years, you know. So sitting him is not easy either.
Are they conversations with players that you say, hey, we're going to sit you down this week, or we think it's best you take the week off? What are those like?
If a guy needs a conversation, a longer conversation, he knows where to find me. But a lot of times this is what we're doing. You know, there's a conversation with the entire group at some point, and then the individuals either show up in my office or not. But mostly they understand.
I forgot, just one more question about the team selling out every game this season. It means, what does it mean to you as a coaching staff that that's happened?
Yeah, it hasn't been done before in this organization, so there's obviously a bit of pride that comes with it, but also I marvel at just the passion and the desire to support our team. And I also do appreciate that the players, I've said it for years, the players get it. Like, they do understand how good a fan base this is, and they appreciate it. And I think not that it's their number one focus when the ball is snapped, but I do think they are aware that they need to go out and play hard all the time, because they need to honor their fans too, right?
And players will say how much they feel electric from that crowd. Do you see a difference in your team here than maybe when you go to a stadium that has 15,000?
Oh, we usually see a lot of blue jerseys everywhere we go, so I mean that's exciting too.
Mike, when you're putting this together, like this one counts in the standings. How do you balance the wanting to rest versus, I mean, this goes on everybody's one-loss record, one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about if you're talking about a win-loss record for a coach, or I don't know that coaches are really worried about that. We know we're in the playoffs. We have to proceed accordingly. Now, understand that these are pro football players that have a lot of pride. They're going out to win a football game. That's what they're trying to do.
Do you maybe get a boost too then from some of the new guys that are playing their first game, and that they don't know any better than just go out and try?
Yeah, nobody knows anything about them. I think also you get a group of veterans that are completely bought into making sure guys are going to do well, right? They want to see it. There's a source of pride too for a guy who's not going to be in the game, to make sure that other guys are right.
Sorry, I forgot one more too. Okay. When you say you want to rest some of these starters, but is it also a case of perhaps avoiding injury too?
I don't really think that way. I'm not looking to avoid anything, right? So I never switch to that negative line of thinking, to tell you the truth.
So it's not a case of better to be safe than sorry?
I don't know. I wouldn't think that way. As a pro athlete, you're not going out there worried. You're going out there to win, right? It's the only way you can do it.
And Mike, whether Terry gets one snap or 50 snaps tomorrow, what would you expect to see from Terry?
I expect everybody on the roster to go out there and execute a game plan at a very high level. I mean, football's played. It's a great game. There's always going to be mistakes, right? Because there's so many things going on at once, including the opposition. But I would expect not just Terry or the quarterbacks or I expect the entire roster to go out and be clean in their execution. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.